Okay, and welcome back, everyone. We're going to carry on with our staff reports requiring action. And the last one up is the External Communication Operational Policy, and Keely Ann is presenting this report.
Good morning, Madam Mayor, members of council. The staff report in front of you is in regards to the External Communication Operational Policy. It's to replace the social media policy. It outlines how the municipality will communicate with the general public through channels such as our website, social media, and physical posting. There's also an appendix that outlines how the township will handle after-hour emergency communication outside of an EOC situation.
Okay, all right. It's pretty straightforward, and this isn't something that, it's not that we're approving, it's just for information. It's a internal policy, just so we're kind of all on the same page when it comes to how we go about communicating things. Anybody have any questions or comments?
No, it's just been a major problem forever. I never heard about that. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And so expanding it as much as we can, Keely Ann, is a great idea, but there's only so much you can do.
That's right. But we're doing it. Okay, so recommendation is to receive this policy as presented. Ruth Ann, you'll make that motion? Yeah. Okay, is there a seconder? Seconded by Jim O'Shea. All those in favor? That's received.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
That was super fast. Okay. So now we're on to reports from boards and committees. Got a couple of things under here. First up is a couple things under short-term rental advisory committee. We have the committee minutes for the meeting that was held on February 10th. Any questions or comments on that? If not, motion to receive those minutes. Moved by Jim Whalen, seconded by Ruth Ann. All those in favor? Those minutes have been received. And then we have a few different items listed here. Staff report, the recommendations to council, and some of the opinions from our solicitor and planner. But it's looking like this is kind of the wrap up of this committee. I'm going to turn it over to you, Colin, but I just want to start off by saying, just for folks, I have recused myself from a lot of any sort of detailed discussion around this committee, because I'm the owner or part owner of a commercial accommodation business. But I did reach out with the integrity commissioner, and the report that's coming forward really seems to be sort of like a broader type of application when it looks at our bylaws, public education. It didn't seem to really be a specific interest. It's not looking specifically at regulating SDRs at this time. So based on that advice that I received from the integrity commissioner, I thought, I could participate in this discussion, because I have to say, I think it's an excellent report, and I want to commend you and your committee for doing a wonderful job with gathering all of that information. It's very thorough, very comprehensive. But certainly if the conversation takes a turn and gets into the nitty gritty about, SDRs or that kind of thing, I will certainly step out of the room and turn the discussion over to the deputy mayor. So just wanted to be above board and sort of open about that anyway, because people are wondering, why is she here? She hasn't been there for some of the other stuff. So, but anyway, Colin, I'm going to turn it over to you to maybe start us off.
Yeah, no, and first I would like to thank my fellow committee members, most of whom are here today, and I believe we do have one coming virtually, or they were trying to.
Okay.
And it was a fantastic group to work with. It was very open-minded, and what I would actually like to highlight is beyond just idea contribution, the members of the public, Janet, Shane, and Ian, contributed to the physical documents directly, created the physical documents directly that you're seeing today. So this really was a sort of cooperative process, and it was led by the members of the committee. So I'm very proud of the work that was completed, but would really like to acknowledge the work of the public members. Two of whom were in the audience today. And thank you again. So we really did try to take the holistic approach that was suggested in the terms of reference, and sort of chase down every lead that council wanted as far as economic development, impact to housing supply. And then rather than just trying to leave it at our feelings, it was analyzing what happened in other communities that are peer municipalities, and try to actually give some confidence when we're presenting this report to council. So it's very in-depth. It's 12
Mhm.
pages packed full of information. I do like the staff recommendation that this to be brought forward to the open house, but this gives a great opportunity for members of council to ask questions while we have all the members present.
Mhm.
And it was, we did try to aim for an approach where we began with the survey, found out the behaviors that were bothering people, and tried to deal with it as simple as it sounds, and try to deal with it in a way that is sort of minimally invasive, but then offer more invasive options as time continues if you find that behavior isn't correcting itself. So I think it's a very well considered report, but we're certainly here to discuss it.
Okay, all right, well, thank you for that, and yeah, I'll open it up to questions or comments from council. Jim, start us off.
Colin, you know, I've read it all, obviously, but boiling it right down, strengthen our bylaws that we have now if we need to, or at least enforce them all. And I think the education part is by far the most important, because and even for council to know what we expect within the bylaws we have now, and so on and so forth. And if we do need another bylaw for something, you know, that we can develop it.
Yeah.
Well done, by the way, and your committee is certainly does deserve a lot of credit.
It's something that we identified. A lot of the behavior that was really being complained about was already illegal, and we had to take extra focus on the reporting mechanism, evidentiary collection, and that end of things, rather than just saying we need a bylaw to make this illegal. So it's
Yeah.
again, going beyond the surface level of how we should be responding to this.
One thing I did, and we talked about it, actually, this was one of the things that I participated in when you guys brought forward the Good Neighbor Guide, and that was just in the summer, which is excellent. And I think, like I said, it's not just about targeting one particular demographic of our community, everybody in our community, you know, there's nothing wrong with educating everybody about, you know, the rules and the regulations and what it means to be a good neighbor and to be considerate and to know about things when it comes to like fireworks and noise complaints and all of that, right? I think that's excellent. And I think certainly we received that external communication policy that we should make sure that good neighbor thing is widely promoted and continues to be promoted. Certainly, I will be talking it up at all the association meetings that I'll probably be in attendance at this spring. But yeah, I think that's a great recommendation. And at the end of the day, yeah, the rules are for everyone, right? And it's important that they are applied equally. And as I said, I love this approach. It is a graduated sort of approach. It makes a lot of sense. And yeah, well done. Anybody else? Any questions or comments? So there is a recommendation that we receive it in documents including stages 1 to 6 in the appendices with appreciation, and further that council schedule a public open house to be held on a Saturday in May to receive public comments on the recommendations. Jim.
I would make the motion, and would your committee be available for that date, Colin, to answer questions of the public and so on?
Yeah, so I believe the intent is to make themselves available until we have the exact time and date. It's impossible to say, but that was it.
I don't know if we could actually set the date. I'm just thinking the first weekend in May is the Apsley Lions Home and Cottage show. The May long weekend, you know, is whatever date that is. I think it's a little bit earlier this year, but you want to make sure too that like seasonal folks are back as well. So I feel like it's probably going to be like the last weekend in May that you may be looking at. But I don't know if do you want to actually set that date now, or you just want to wait and do it like sort of internally once you talk with staff?
May 30th?
Is that May 30th? Is that the Saturday?
That's the Saturday.
Do you want us to lock you in?
I don't mean to be the Victoria weekend Grinch, but we have a massive number of people up here. If it's only an hour, is that the best time to collect as large a group of people as possible.
I don't think you're gonna get anybody
No.
coming on it. Traditional cottage opening and, oh, I don't know, I mean, you could try, I just, oh,
Have steak sandwiches and your beer.
well, yeah, if you, depending on the food you serve. And I think we're talking as well too, we were talked about the CIP program before too, but they're combining even open houses as well to look at both of those documents. Might be a way to entice more people to come out, there's more to kind of look at. Why don't we just leave it then with the recommendation just to a Saturday in May and you guys can figure out the details.
Okay. I moved that anyway. man.
Oh, okay, wait, before you do you wanna?
No, I was just gonna say, we're gonna have to, depending what facility you want, we're gonna have to check for availability.
Yeah,
That's the other thing too,
If
so,
you
okay, so we
get
will leave it.
KCC, we'll have to inquire.
And then just maybe it'll be come back as an information item to council that it's gonna be this date, okay? So Jim, you're gonna make that, move that recommendation?
yes,
And Jim O'Shea will second it. All those in favor? That is approved. Thank you once again. Really appreciate all your hard work on this. Okay.
We're out here.
It's warmed up outside now, Shane. I think you'll be okay in your vest.
good to see you, Ian.
Yeah, thanks for coming. All right, and with that,
Sometime in May.
we'll see ya.
Thank you, Ian.
Back when you're in the black flies are biting. Okay, so the only other thing under reports from boards and committees is the minutes from the library board for the meeting that was held on January 29th. Motion to receive by Jim, seconded by Colin. All those in favor? Those have been received. And that was Jim Whalen, by the way, Connie. Okay, and then we have correspondence for action or discussion. First up is the Senior of the Year Award. What's the deadline on this, Connie? You just, Go ahead.
If I may, it's an
Yeah.
April deadline, so we're just putting this forward on the public
Yeah.
agenda to see if council would like to have a submission for the senior of the year, and that this is an award that municipalities send in, and typically we send one person
Mhm.
and then have a presentation in June. So if council would like to proceed, we can schedule a closed session on the next agenda to discuss personal information about
Sure.
nominees.
Sure. And I believe we did circulate the list of the former recipients, so we
Yeah.
know, but okay, so everybody start putting your thinking caps on, and we've got lots of fantastic seniors in our community, so. Let's start thinking now who we can choose to be our senior of the year. All right, so just I guess just to receive that.
For
Yes.
information.
Yeah, and then we'll deal with it at our next meeting. Okay, the next one is a letter request from Gord Tucker. The request is to waive the septic inspection fee, and the letter was circulated to council. This is with respect to the planned daycare facility that's going in the old Trinity United Church. Is that correct? Am I right? Yeah. Anyway, and it's just asking for council's consideration to waive that fee so that our chief building official can do what he needs to do to get the documents for them.
Could I just have a question of Matt? Matt, are we likely to get into an engineered system or a whole bunch of expense and everything like that, or is it pretty straightforward?
So through you, Madam Mayor,
Yep.
it looks like they're looking for just a review of the existing system. And I believe they're able to continue using that system and won't need an upgrade. But this would be something that they're looking for from us is a formal letter, and typically there's a $225 fee for that. So I believe that that's what they're looking for, that fee to be waived.
Thanks very much, Matt.
Okay, so. Oh,
This may not be the last request coming forward, and I don't have any particular issue with it, but is there any way that we can sort of start to make these contingent and like not trying to rush them within 2 years, but
Yep.
If they aren't able to get a daycare going, which I certainly hope they can,
Mhm.
but have to rezone it in a few years and then end up using this as commercial property or something else. I think it would be appropriate to recapture the permit fees at that point.
$125.
But again, this isn't I don't think this will be the last thing
No, I
that
don't
we
think
get,
so
and
either.
I
I
hope
don't
that they
think so
try to
either.
work with us more, because I think we can support each other.
Mhm.
But I do want to be cognizant of that.
Yeah, well, I think the timing, and that's what they came before us for, is because of funds, provincial funds as well, that are available, like by year end, like we need to have this happen. So I think, and this is all part of facilitating that. I don't know how we would go back afterwards, and if it, I don't know how we would do that. I guess we'd have to deal with that when the time comes. But the one thing I will say is that when I'm in speaking with Gord, because Gord originally had emailed and said, hey, did you or Matt deal with that septic fee? And I was like, Matt and I don't have the authority to deal with the fee. That's a council thing. Those fees are approved by bylaw. So we only council as a whole has the authority to waive a fee. But I did say to him, I said, if there's anything else that you can think of or other things where, if you can kind of put it together, because it has to come to council, so it's going to affect their timelines, their scheduling. Please, put it in. I said, we can deal with it as they occur, but if you know of something coming up, get it to us as quickly as possible, so we don't hold them up on it. This is the only thing that's come forward so far. There may be others, but I think the main thing was they were looking for that approval in principle to go back to institutional zoning and the waiving of the fee for that. So I'm not too sure what others may come forward, but we'll just have to wait and see, right, on that. But for this one right now, council, are you okay with waiving the septic fee? Okay, Colin, you make that motion. Jim O'Shea will second it. All those in favor? The fee is waived. Okay, I'll tell Gord the good news. All right, and with that, well, that brings us to the end of the public business matters. I need a motion to go into closed session pursuant to section 239(2) of the Municipal Act. This part of the meeting is closed to the public because it will be dealing with personnel matters and litigation or potential litigation. So who can move that? Who wants to move that? Ruth Ann will move it. Seconded by you, by Jim Whalen. All those in favor? We're going into close, people. Thank you very much.